We were always political. No, 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 no. It was about advertising. The whole thing about the NBA and people coming in and what do you do with all this money? These innovators, these influencers, what are they going to do when they're no longer successful? Because they get weirder and weirder because human beings aren't meant to be fans of a million people. So they make all this money. So we got the financial issue, but then you also have what they end up doing and why are we paying them? That was my pitch on the whole Bud Light thing. It has nothing to do. It was not politics at first. It was the fact that Dylan, right?
Yeah, I think that's right.
Had a massive channel, and every marketer wants to find somebody with eyeballs.
Right.
If he had 7 viewers, it never would have been a thing. They're like, where do we go? Oh, it fits as a thing. Great, we'll go for it because he's got 2 million viewers. That was why. I don't think it was some big plot by Anheuser-Busch to suddenly switch their core demographic. That was just that marketer yapping.
Right.
It was because it made sense and no one ever yelled at her. But really, it was just that's where the eyeballs were. And then it exploded, and now everybody pretends that we were always political. No, 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 no. It was about advertising. But they can't talk about that because that would expose the fact that marketers are just desperate for any kind of numbers, whether it's impression, reviews, or...
Well, and I think this conversation is synonymous with, like, the real impact of Twitter. Because, like, do you advertise on Twitter, or do you advertise on YouTube or Facebook? And it's like, okay, where's your audience? Because to me, if I look at Twitter... not a traditional Twitter user, I look at Twitter as the CEO C-class people or journalists or the old whites or whatever you want to say that think they have impact. And because I think when Elon came in, they saw that there was, or that might have been fodder to try to lower the price, that a lot of these huge, impactful, huge followings were fake. So like, if you come from the real estate investing world that I came from, none of us are on Twitter. They're also not really on LinkedIn. They were hugely on Facebook and YouTube. Mm-hmm. So I don't know if I have an answer or if I'm just talking, but I don't know. If the question is how do you define an audience or how do you define if the audience is real, I think it's like, hey, come to my event, and if people show up, then you have a real audience.
Results. That's it. Yeah. Hard to track those, though.
Is it?
Yeah. Yeah, because if you do well in marketing, the salesperson just says, well, it's because I'm so great. That's why that happened. Or the product was so great. Or it's the market was doing
it's
it.
The opposite of a sales guy saying, well, I just don't have enough leads.
It's hard to track it if you're on somebody else's barrier reef.
That's a very good point.
If you're on YouTube, you're on TikTok, you're on Instagram, yeah, you're going to have an impossible time tracking who's who. But if you have a property that you control soup to nuts, your analytics is your analytics. I can address every single user.
How many people know their own analytics in their own company?
Very well. I mean, you know that better than me. I haven't been inside in a while, so
not a lot.
Yeah,
you don't tell them what the real numbers are.
Well, because if you do, then they're like, if it's high, then they're like, why don't I have more sales?
Right.
Why don't I have more conversions? And then it goes back, circle all the way back. What's a view? What's an impression?
It's actually a complex thing. Yeah. What are humans doing, and how do you break down? And it was the question you were asking earlier. What do I need to do specifically if I'm applying for some kind of role? And the answer is depends. I mean, that's the issue with all of these. Yeah. But we want that certainty because when we talk to it, why am I paid so much to talk to my CEO? I have the different numbers. I am data driven. And that just makes me laugh because none of them are.
Well, I think a lot of it is trying to validate their own self to keep a job. Because, like, we have a video production company. And at the end of the day, are we here to make a video or are we here to make a thing that could potentially make a sale? There's a lot of ways to draw or say we've been successful. Is it through view count? Is it through impressions? Is it through the increase between last video and this video? Is it a sales conversion? But there's a lot of ways to fluff numbers. And it's not even fluffing, it's just showing it's accurate numbers, but it's numbers that have because they don't mean anything.
Substance.
There's no substance there. So I always fall back to the word impact. And in a lot of ways, it's very, is it salesy to say what's the impact? But at the end of the day, it's like, look, if you work with me, I want you to be successful so you could pay me more.
Right, keep paying me.
Keep paying me. But we could have all the views or the false impact or the impressions, but if those impressions don't bring in dollars, I don't have a job anymore.
Well, to be honest, I mean, even like when we sit down with clients and the first thing I ask them is, what is your goal? What do you want to do? Do you want more followers or do you want more customers? Right. So you got to kind of know where their head is at before you start working with them. If they want more followers, more likes, they're going to eventually realize they can't really afford marketing. So, but I kind of go in a different way. I kind of share with them what they will need. How do you see your company? How do you see yourself? Do you see yourself as a business owner, or do you see yourself as, this is what I'm doing every day to make money? Like, how do you want your audience to see you? Like, I actually really break down to get them to understand what is most valuable in the marketing that they really, what is the most important thing that they really want? And I take that and I run. So if you want a show that's just, you're going to have a lot of audience, do you want to make money off that audience? Or do you just want an audience that will literally, oh, I watched you for 2 seconds and it was great. No, I need you to watch me for 10 minutes, sponsor what I'm doing, and be supportive. I want to build a community. I want you to come to me because I'm the person to go to when we're talking about something.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Ego or money?
Yeah.
What do you want?
Yeah.
Hey, thanks for watching The Merge. We've got a ton more stuff for you to watch on YouTube, on Instagram, on TikTok, everywhere. Check us out.